website called The Black Bookie, which is very cool. You got to stop by and check that out. And his slogan is, and I haven't hit this before, I'm going to hit it this time, because it's the best one. His slogan is, if you snooze, you lose. And indeed, that is the case. There are only so many money-making opportunities to be had, and he's going to tell you where they all are. It's the one and only Black Bookie. It's Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe, how are you today?
Good evening, America. Welcome to the Snooze You Lose podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Joe. This is a sports and a sports betting podcast where the motto is and always will be win together, lose together. Thanks for joining us here live another week on Millions. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share the stream. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at The Black Bookie. New listeners, old listeners, you know how we rock. We don't try and take up too much of your time. Going to get ready to talk about this Monday Night Football matchup, some plays we got going on. College basketball is back. We cashed another article play yesterday with the Devils in regulation. Make sure you guys check out my guys We Like Sports podcast. Their show is tomorrow on Tuesday. But we cashed again. If you don't take any of my plays, like I've said, if you don't take any of them, Sunday is the one to take. I believe we are now officially 10-3 in our last 13 article plays. Just absolutely crushing those. So if there's any day you like to tail me, it's Sunday. But we cashed, like I said, with the Devils. They bounced back. They came off a loss against the Blues. In a game where I wrote in the article, I thought they mentally checked out. Their star player, Jack Hughes, got hurt in that game. They didn't know how severe the injury was going to be. Found out after the game he wasn't going to miss too much time. He got hurt early in the first period. So when you lose your top goal scorer, pretty much the face of the franchise, and you don't know how bad it is. Mentally, I feel like they kind of checked out. So they lost that game 4-1 against St. Louis. They bounced back against the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks the night before got their first home win of the year. They hadn't won back-to-back games, period, all season. I definitely didn't think they were going to win back-to-back home games, and they didn't. It came close down to the wire, though, but the Devils held on 3-2, and that's all we need. We got the W. I do like another play tonight in the NHL you might be able to grab before the line gets pulled. But Columbus plus 1.5, believe is at minus 130. The Blue Jackets stink on the road, right? They're not a good road team. Florida is 3-1 at home. They're playing the Panthers tonight. But based on the line, I think the value is in Columbus. I just don't think they're bad, but I don't think they're minus 230 dogs bad. If you look at both of these teams' numbers, goals per game, the Blue Jackets are 27th in the league. Florida's 25th. So it's not really much of a disparity in offense. Both of these teams are struggling to score to start the year. The power play, Blue Jackets are 26th in the league. Florida's 25th. Both struggling to score on the power play. One advantage, Florida definitely does have a better defense. But right now, Columbus is 8th in the league in penalty kill, while the Panthers sit at 26th. So I think both these teams stink. I don't think Florida definitely is a better team at home. Like I said, 3-1 on the road. But I think Columbus could keep this game close, especially if they get a few opportunities on the power play. Well, against a team that's struggling to kill the penalty. I think if Florida came out and won this game 5-1, wouldn't be a complete shocker because of how bad Columbus is on the road. But I just don't think they're minus 230 dog bad. So I like Columbus plus 1.5. That's just another personal play I got rolling. I'm telling you guys about it at the top of the show because it's going to kick off soon. But yeah, we bounced back yesterday with the Devils for ourselves with a winner. Actually, we won on Friday as well too. We did not give out a play Saturday. Friday, we lost. The Warriors didn't cover us, right? So we bounced back as well too. The Warriors did win that game against OKC, but they didn't cover. I believe they won by 2 or 3. We had it -5, so didn't get the cover there. So we bounced back and ended the week with a winner with the Devils in regulation. I like Columbus plus 1.5. You might be able to grab it or get it live. We talked about this before. There's a video play I talked about early in the week. Same thing. The Devils were sitting at like minus 240 favorites against somebody, and we went the other way in the cash easily. It's just that's what it comes down to. It's just not always about who's better than who's got the better record. Got to read the lines. Got to be able to read the lines. Sometimes, yeah, that doesn't matter either. But there are times where you got to read the line, at least go with the value. And the Panthers minus 230 is just no value for me. So I'm taking a shot with Columbus to keep things close and maybe even squeak out a W. But Monday Night Football, our official play, let's talk about that. A lot of football to talk about too as well yesterday, as these weeks just keep flying by in the NFL, man. That's how it goes. That's the one thing with football. We love it, but it just flies right by. What I tell you guys, I ain't believing it until it happens. I told you guys to take the Eagles. Not only do they cover, they win outright. And a game where they should have lost, though. A game where they should have lost. Dak actually played great. CeeDee Lamb was phenomenal. The defense made plays when they needed to, but in such the Cowboys way, in such a Dak Prescott way, they found a way not to win. Stepping out of bounds on the 2-point conversion, falling a half a yard short in front of the goal, in front of the end zone. The touchdown they were short on fourth down with Ferguson. Just typical Cowboys behavior. A good team played very well. A game they should have won. I sat right there with my wife watching the game. I told her straight up. I said, listen, I don't want to lose my money, but we're going to lose this game. Because once Dak had stepped out of bounds in the 2-point conversion, the Eagles offense comes out, goes 3 and out. Cowboys get the ball right back, pen them deep. Then you get 2 penalties, either pass interference and a roughing the passer, gets them into past field goal range, gets them in territory, I believe, the 25 to 30-yard line, in a position to score, and just couldn't convert. 4 opportunities, couldn't convert. Dak did take a sack on that drive, but it wasn't his fault. He played great. He played absolutely phenomenal. You couldn't ask for more, but that much, stepping out of bounds by that much, that's just typical Prescott behavior. Typical Cowboys behavior. Just can't. I told you, there's no way until it happens, until I could see it happen on a regular and a consistent basis. There's no way I'm ever going to wake up and put money on the Cowboys while Dak is the quarterback to win a big game. It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. And yesterday was the one where it should have happened. They were in opportunities. They had positions. The game was being handled. Philadelphia was trying to blow the game. They were trying to figure out ways to lose. I was telling, like I said, my fiance, you hear the announcer say it, that defense was reeling. They were on their heels at that last drive. I sat there looking at it like, wow, we're going to lose this game. We are going to lose this game. Not as a Philly fan, as someone that had money on the Phillies. We are going to lose this game because I didn't see any way after the roughing the passer and the Eagles just not coming out, not even getting a first down. I didn't understand. You guys, right? The best team in the league with the push, the best team in the NFL when you hand the ball to Hurts and give him a push and get the first down. I didn't understand why they didn't just do that 3 straight times. They come out after the Cowboys are deflated with Dak stepping out of bounds and not converting that 2-point conversion. They're deflated, 3 and out, and didn't have to use a timeout. You go 3 and out, didn't have to use the timeout. They get the ball back. Then you commit 2 penalties to get them past midfield. It was insane. I was like, whoa, this is being gift wrapped. Then Sirianni had no timeouts to stop the clock to try and even gain composure and calm his defense down. No timeouts. They were absolutely reeling. If there was a game where Dak was going to do it, it was that one. In typical Prescott fashion, he can't do it. He can't win the big one. Dak is a very good quarterback, but he cannot win a big game. It's as simple as that. Monday Night Football, our official play. Chargers, Jets. I'm going against the public here. I think there's a lot of New York love. New York love in this game. The line was at 3.5. Now it's down to 3. Some places it still might be at 3.5. But we are on the Chargers -3. I think it's just too much love for this Jets team, who, yes, has been playing well. Who, yes, should have beat the Chiefs. Who, yes, did beat the Eagles. But let's break it down. Sometimes you have to dissect it. It's not all about the numbers. We have to dissect it. They are on a 3-game winning streak. They beat the Broncos. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Right? They should have. You beat the Eagles. Congratulations. But it was a game where, let's be honest, they were schedule watching. They rested players. They didn't take you seriously. They were not prepared nor cared about the game. Then you beat the Giants in a game you should have lost. It came down to a field goal with a kicker that missed the kick is on the IR now. You should have lost that game. Zach Wilson has still been struggling to pass the ball. I think the last good performance he had really was that Chiefs game. Since then, the passing game has been in shambles. We already know they struggled to run the ball. And while the Chargers don't have a great secondary, the problem tonight, where I think Zach Wilson and company is going to face the biggest issue, is they're missing two players on the offensive line. So now you have two guys on the O-line, two of your starters not playing, and you have to deal with Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack tonight. I don't see how anybody think that's going to be that's a tall task. That is a tall task to ask for against a struggling quarterback and against a struggling offense. I don't care if you're home or not. And then we can also throw out the whole West Coast team coming to the East Coast because this game is at 8 o'clock at night. If this was a 1 o'clock game on a Sunday, I might lean Jets. You probably catch the Chargers coming in a little jet lag, not really prepared to play with the different time zone. But this is a late primetime game on Monday night. It's beautiful outside too. It's not like they're coming from warm weather to cold weather. It's not snowing. It's not raining. It's literally 50 degrees. It's beautiful outside. So the weather's not going to be a factor. The time zone's not going to be a factor. I think the Jets are getting too much love. If maybe they didn't have two guys out on the offensive line, I think they would have a chance because the Chargers secondary is pathetic. They're one of the worst in the league. But I just think the Jets are getting too much love, and I think the Chargers are getting too much hate. And me personally, I haven't bet on the Chargers since they lost that game to the Titans. That was absolutely disgusting. But they're still okay. Like, are they a playoff team? They should be. Are they obviously a Super Bowl team or a contender? Absolutely not. But they're okay. I mean, I think when you look at their schedule too, they've kind of beaten the teams they were supposed to beat, and they've lost to teams that are better than them. Lost to the Chiefs, understandably so, and they lost to the Cowboys after the Cowboys had just came off a 42-10 drubbing to the 49ers. So they came out and had to face a jacked up, fired up, motivated Cowboys team to get that bad taste out of their mouth. And I believe the Cowboys are better than the Chargers. And then they lost to KC. They lost to the Swifties. I don't think the Chargers are that bad. Are they good? Yeah. Are they great? Absolutely not. But I just think it's going to be too much for Zach. I think Zach Wilson's going to be running for his life all night with Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack with struggling offensive line against a team, like I said, that already struggles to run the ball. So they're just going to they could drop everybody back, and they're just going to send 4 or 5 at them all night long. All night long. They might not even have to. They might be able to rush 3 or 4 because there's going to be holes in that offensive line tonight. There's clearly going to be gaps on that line tonight. And I just think it's going to be too much for Zach to ask for. I think the Jets are getting too much love for the game against the Eagles and the Chiefs, which, like I said, the Chiefs game, they should have definitely won. They were screwed. That was a rough job. They got screwed in that game. The Eagles game, we got to call a spade a spade. Philly didn't care. They didn't care. They didn't care about that game. And you beat the Giants. What they freaking do? Did you see what the Giants did yesterday? The Giants are playing with a guy that sounds like their starting quarterback right now with Daniel Jones getting hurt again, which looks like I haven't seen the official reports, but it looks like he's probably out for the year with the type of injury that he sustained. When it's that non-contact and it's the knee, it's usually pretty bad. I haven't officially looked at any updates. I don't know if you guys know. You could drop me in the chat if you've seen it. But their quarterback now, it sounds like he's be on The Sopranos. I mean, they're playing with Tony DeVito or whatever his name is. I mean, come on. The big win for the Raiders, cleaning house, getting rid of Josh McDaniels. If you have been listening to the show for a few years, you already know as a Colts fan, I think Josh McDaniels is a clown. How he turned down that Indy job because he sucks. Can't do anything without Bill Belichick. He hasn't done anything but without Bill Belichick. He had no control over this Raiders team. No one played hard for him. He has no idea what he was doing. He should only be an offensive coordinator, and that's it. Because there's a difference. It's a difference when you can call plays and scheme, and then there's a difference when you have to be a leader and you need guys to really respect you, and they don't. And you can see how hard the Raiders came out yesterday and played for Pierce. Different culture now. I don't know which direction the Raiders go, if they're going to clean house or if they're going to try and still figure things out what they have. I know Jimmy G looks like he's not going to be the answer. they're going to move past him at quarterback with their rookie. He seemed okay yesterday as well, too, because the Giants still have a decent defense. The Giants, they play hard for Daboll. The Giants still show up and they hit. But the problem is their offense. And the problem is the defense is tired because the offense is so bad, the defense is on the field so much. So, yeah, I just think a little bit too much love for the Jets tonight, being at home, and because of their little 3-game winning streak. But I'm not impressed because you beat someone that sounds like he's an errand boy on season 4 of Sopranos last week. And the game, like I said, you should have lost. Gano hits that field goal. It's lights, camera, action. It's over. Curtains closed. So a little bit, I could be wrong. We'll see. But that's the play I'm on. I never put a gun in nobody's head. You take what you like. I only share what I'm on. My advice, my analysis on the game. And I'm liking the Chargers tonight. I just think the Jets are getting too much love, too much credit. I just think like I said, the offensive line issues, it's going to be a lot to overcome for them tonight. So I am on Chargers -3. Gave it out earlier. And that's the play I'm rolling with. Bad start for us in the Panthers game, as the Panthers are already up 2-0 on the Blackhawks. Woo. Not how you want to start the first period. But we still got some time. We'll see what happens with that. It's hockey. They score quickly, so we'll see what happens with that. NBA. I'm not dabbling or talking about too much college basketball yet. I'll let you know right away. It's way too early in the season. Way too early. I'm not even looking. I haven't looked at a single spread, a single line, a single roster. Transparency is always key, and I'm always honest with you guys. Don't even ask. I have no idea yet. Have done no studying on it yet. There's so much going on. But it'll be time. We'll get there. We will get there because there's going to be some days in December, some days in January. We're going to need it. There's going to be 2 NBA games on and 10 college basketball games to pick from. And that's when, we'll have some more data on teams. We'll have things figured out, shooting percentages, injuries, matchups. But right now, it's all a coin toss, and I'd rather not. I'll wait. NBA, a lot of games going on tonight. That bum James Harden makes his debut for the Clippers against the Knicks. This is a spot. I don't have money on it personally, but I've seen people talking about it where I wouldn't be surprised to take the Knicks. Not because I think they're better than the Clippers, but you're literally throwing out a completely new roster tonight with Westbrook, Harden, Paul George, Kawhi. They're kind of pretty much figured out on the fly. Against the Knicks team coming off a tough loss against the Bucks. I believe RJ Barrett is back tonight, so they'll get Barrett tonight to help out with Jalen Brunson because he's been having to do it all by himself. Julius Randle's still terrible, and he needs to be traded. You could just tell with his attitude, the way he carries himself. He looks like he's in better shape. I'm so happy he cut his damn hair, but it just ain't it. It's just not working out. I would trade Randle and get what I can from him and build around Brunson and RJ and bring in whatever you could bring in, because when the ball touches his hands, it's just a black hole. It just doesn't move, or it's a bad shot. He doesn't play defense. He doesn't hustle. He's got a terrible attitude. He's got to go. But the play that I did give out, as far to also go with the Chargers -3, we gave out Timberwolves +4. Did we get it at 4 or did it drop? Let me just double check. Did we get it? No, we got it at 3. Timberwolves +3. Looks like it's up to 3.5 right now. Let's see. Maybe that Porzingis playing. So it looks like Porzingis is going to play for Boston. When I was looking at this line, he was dealing with some eye issues. Derek White is out for the Celtics, but it looks like Porzingis is going to play. But this is a spot I like the Wolves. So the Wolves screwed us once already this year. We took them against the Hawks. The Hawks were on a bounce-back game. Not a bounce-back, sorry. They were on a back-to-back game. Thought the Wolves would come in and take care of business. They did in the first half, up 19 in the first half. And then the Hawks just came out in the second half and took over because, once again, the Wolves were schedule watching. They were looking forward to their matchup against Denver. They came out against that game of the Nuggets and absolutely clean house against the Nuggets. So tonight, I think this is another game where clearly Porzingis isn't 100%. Derek White is out. This is a Wolves team. Well, I think they're going to try and give the Celtics their first their first loss of the season. Boston is 5-0 in the year, and I just think this is a Wolves team that's going to come in and try and take care of business. We got it +3, sitting at +3.5. You can still grab it. That game starts at 8:00, but I think this is a game where the Wolves show up. The Wolves, Minnesota, yeah, they're not a lovable team. Right? They're not a likable team. You like Anthony Edwards. Most people don't like, obviously, Rudy Gobert. Most people aren't crazy about Karl Anthony Towns. They feel like he should work harder. He's a little bit distracted with his video games and his girlfriend and things like that. But I think this is a game where the Wolves come out. They come out to play like how they did against the Nuggets. And they're going to try and give the C's their first loss at home. They've been playing decent at home so far this year. 3-0 at home so far this year. So I like the Wolves. You can get at 3.5. I got it at 3. Other games tonight on the board that I was looking at, like I said, I wouldn't blame anybody for taking the Knicks tonight. I just think there's no camaraderie. Just throwing a new roster out there tonight for the Clippers. The Knicks also, like I said, coming off a tough loss. So I wouldn't blame anybody for taking the Knicks tonight. I'm not doing it, but I don't blame anybody. Warriors, Pistons, our guy Bet the House gave out Golden State first half. They're up 26-19 the first quarter, so good start for that. Make sure you guys follow him, _, Bet the House with House. His play so far is only in the first quarter, but looking good. They got a nice lead. The Lakers +1.5 tonight against Miami. I did sprinkle a little something on LA tonight. I think I'm not too worried about that loss against Orlando. It was the second time playing the Magic already this year. Lakers beat them the first time. Magic bounced back and beat them this time. And I feel like, once again, schedule watching, not getting jacked up to play Orlando again for the second time already in your first 6 games. Not really caring about playing Orlando. But this is a game. LeBron James, former Heat player, looking to take care of business, I think, in Miami. The Lakers do have a few players out. Rui is still out. Vanderbilt's out. Gabe Benson's out, but he hasn't done squat since he's got there. So for the Heat, all systems pretty much go, except for Caleb Martin and whatever. All systems go. Bam playing, Jimmy's playing, Tyler Hero's playing, all the big names are playing. But this is a game where I can see the Lakers coming out and trying to take care of some business. Bam and AD kind of offset themselves. So LeBron and Jimmy, if you want to say that kind of offsets each other, I still kind of give the advantage, even though the Lakers, not a lot of depth on that bench. Austin Reeves could go crazy. Who else we got over here? Austin Reeves can go crazy. D'Lo can always go off at any time. So we'll see. I mean, not a lot of depth. Got to stay out of foul trouble. That's for the Lakers to be in this game. Got to stay out of foul trouble with Rui being out, especially to help out AD. You have Christian Wood, who can play center. He's probably going to guard Bam, so Anthony Davis doesn't have to as much. He can play power forward, put some points up, not have to work so hard on both ends of the floor. But I like the Lakers tonight. They've been in Florida, too, not having to travel. They played that Orlando game on Saturday, so they've just been in Florida. Played today on Monday. And the Heat off to a very slow start. Miami's off to a very slow start to start the year. 2-4. They just ended a 4-game losing streak, and that win came against the Wizards. I mean, there's a couple teams at LA Fitness right now that can beat the Wizards. So, not really impressed by that. So, very slow start by Miami. I think the Lakers could come in tonight, keep it close, maybe even eke out a win. It matters to LeBron playing in Miami. It always matters, just like when he goes back to Cleveland. So these games matter. I think, like I said, coming off that loss against Orlando, a game they didn't really care about, already beat Orlando, playing the same team within your first 6 games, that's not a conference opponent or not a rival. I just don't think they cared. I think they look more to this game, and I think they take care of business. So those are my sprinkles. Lakers +1.5, Wolves +3, and I don't blame anyone for taking the Knicks. I personally didn't do it, and our guy Bet the House taking the Warriors first half -3.5 over the Pistons. So far, off to a good start. No other games I like tonight. I do see that the Nuggets line went up. So is anybody out for Pelicans? Just CJ McCollum. Jamal Murray is still out for Denver. So not a game I love. especially with the line moving up in favor of Denver from 6.5 to 7.5 with no Jamal Murray. Wouldn't blame anyone for taking the Pelicans there. Would not blame anyone to take the Pelicans to cover in that matchup. Oof. 3-0 now, Panthers. See, like I said, I'm honest with you guys. Like I said, the Blue Jackets could come out and get killed because of how bad they are on the road. But I didn't think there was any value with Florida minus 230. I just didn't like it. I thought it should have been maybe a 170, 180 ballpark. I thought 230 was too much for a team that's bottom 25 in the league in offense and a terrible penalty kill. But that's how it goes sometimes. You never know. A lot of time left, though, still. Remember, we're not asking the Blue Jackets to win. We're just asking them to now lose by 2 goals. So still plenty of time for that game. But our official plays one last time. Chargers -3. I think a little bit too much love for the Jets tonight. Offensive line issues. I like the Chargers -3. And also the Wolves +3. You can still get it at +3.5, it looks like. A game where I think they're going to be fired up and focused for. Porzingis clearly not 100%. We know Derek White is out as well for the Celtics. So I like those 2 matchups. Those are our official plays. I appreciate you guys joining me on the stream. I know we got some other baseball news to talk about. Craig Counsell, what the hell, man? Thought that he was going to come be the manager for the Mets. Said he wasn't interested, so I thought he was going to stay in Milwaukee. We wake up and he's the manager for the Cubs. What the hell is up with that? What a rat move. And also to go manage now your division rival. What a snake. I just didn't see that coming. And a team like the Cubs who were on the crisp, they were a few games. They missed the playoffs by a few games. But how much better does he make them over where they were at? It was a surprising move, a shocking move, a rat move, if you ask me, to go manage your division rival after turning down the Mets job. Fine, you turn down the Mets job. People thought it was a done deal because the GM that the Mets had hired came from Milwaukee. So 1 and 1 equals 2. Thought he was going to come through. But an absolute shocker and a rat move by Greg Counsell to just stab us in the back. It stabbed Milwaukee in the back. Go manage the Cubs? Can't trust nobody these days. And the Mets, I saw, I didn't really get a chance to read it. So they hired the Yankees bench coach. What the hell are we doing? We're hiring guys that never even been managed before? I'm puzzled. Excuse me. I'm puzzled. That's why I didn't really even read into it yet, because I saw the headline and a few people text me about it. I was like, the hell is this? Hiring guys that never even done the job before? Not always a bad thing, but surely not what I was looking for or expecting. At this point, I feel like Carlos Beltran paid his dues, right? He did his time. He was caught up in the whole nonsense with the cheating thing. I felt like he did his time, right? I feel like he deserved a second chance. And I feel like Carlos Beltran should get the job. He should have got the job. But the Yankees bench coach? I guess. I want the team to win. I'm hoping for the best, but I ain't happy. It's not moving the needle to me. It seems like a guy that's going to have to come in and earn his stripes. And I don't know if we really got time for that. We're still trying to figure out Pete Alonso contract situation. We got guys that are hitting their prime right now. We really don't have time for that. So I'm not thrilled about it. Texas Rangers did end up winning the World Series. If you lived on the rock, they did get the job done. I said here on the show that after the D-backs bounced back in Game 2, I was rooting for the underdog story. I was rooting for them. But financially, I told you guys on Instagram, take Texas. They're closing it out in Game 5, and they did. You got Evaldi back on the mound. He was not going to have another bad performance like he had in Game 1, and it was stressful. He pitched the stressful 6 innings, but he pitched 6 scoreless innings, and he got it done. So in my heart, I was rooting for the D-backs, but with my wallet, I was rooting for the Rangers. But the Yankees bench coach, I mean, this is like having the Giants quarterback right now. We hiring people that are Sopranos extras. I don't know what's going on. But Chargers -3, Wolves +3. Lock it in. Let's put some money in the account. Share the stream. If you missed the show or didn't catch it from the beginning, it will be on streaming platforms. You can also go back and listen to it live. Well, not live, but you can also go back and listen to it here on Millions. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend. As always, in the words of the icon Billy Walters, I've had some losing weeks. I've had some losing months. Never had a losing year. Snooze You Lose podcast. Till next time.